Hey guys, it's Marilyn Miller with Pilates on Hudson again. Continuing our theme on low back pain. So today we're going to talk about doing some deep hip stretches. Part of the reason we get a lot of low back pain is that we sit all the time. We sit, we drive, we sit, right? We go to the gym, we might sit there too. We do a lot of sitting, so much sitting. And what that does is it really compresses and tightens, it shortens and tightens the muscles deep in the hip, our hip flexor muscles. So we're going to do a hip stretch, but you may have been given a hip stretch before. You may have been told, oh, you need to stretch your psoas muscles, your iliopsoas muscles. So what I'm going to have you stretch here is called your iliacus muscle. Your iliacus muscle is a deep muscle on the inside of your hip, as opposed to your psoas muscle that is a long muscle that connects your spine to your thigh. Two different muscles. They call them similarly because they share a similar space, but they're not the same muscle. So if we were doing a psoas stretch, which a lot of times people are like, oh, I really need to stretch out my hip flexors, I'm so tight, they'll do a psoas stretch and they'll just collapse like this. Like, oh, here's my psoas stretch. Right? And notice how my hip and my thigh are kind of in the same space, and I'm really leaning forward in this sense. So I do feel that I've got a bit of a stretch going on there, but is that really an effective stretch? So a better way to do it is we're going to stay more upright. Bring this foot forward, and notice how I'm at a 90-degree angle here. We're going to walk it forward just past 90 degrees. Drop that tailbone down, and we're going to shift ever so slightly forward. Think of really bringing the bottom of your pelvis through and forward here, right? So I'm not collapsing like this, but rather I'm upright, I'm dropping my tailbone down, and I'm shifting my thigh bone forward and keeping my pelvis here. Now I feel a deep internal stretch on my thigh. We're going to hold that for a few more seconds, and I'm going to turn around and do it to the other side. All right? So again, we're going to bring the foot forward just past 90 degrees. Okay, from here we're upright, not dropping forward. Drop that tailbone down, shift, right. Now, one thing you'll perhaps notice here is my butt muscles are engaged. Yes, you have to engage your butt muscles to really get that iliacus to stretch. You really want to open up the front of the hip and thigh. And you just want to do this whole maybe 10-15 seconds on either side, on both sides. You may find, as we often do, that one side is tighter than the other. Perfectly normal. So you may want to focus a little bit more on that tight side, but be careful. Sometimes that muscle is really tight because something else isn't working. So, just proceed with caution on this one. But it is a very good way, if you do have low back pain, to complement my other exercise, the calf kitten, to start working out the muscles of the low back, to stretch them and start to strengthen them. Okay, again, I'm Marilyn Miller. Like and subscribe to my page if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks.